Hello, my name is Jack Fisher, and today I will be presenting you a brief look at the geological history of Coyote Hills. Coyote Hills is located in the northern part of Orange County along Rosecrans Avenue, surrounded by the cities of Buena Park, Fullerton, and La Mirada. In the 1960s, the surrounding area was in use as a quarry for sand and gravel. Local paleontologists had reason to believe that there could be fossils nearby and began performing some excavations that bore fruit. Upon the discovery of the fossils, the site was deemed significant and worthy of preservation. So after being acquired by the County of Orange, the Ralph B. Clark Regional Park was established in 1981, and a few years later, the museum housing the fossils that were unearthed opened on site in 1987. Now, how do the hills that we see today come to be, and the fossils that came with them? Well, to answer that question, we'll have to go back millions of years ago to find out. Now, for most of the Cenozoic era, the greater Los Angeles area was underwater, completely covered by ocean. And only relatively recently, during the Pleistocene era, around 1 million years ago, did the land emerge from the water. And during this transition, tectonic plates tilted the greater area, causing the waters to recede. So over time has left its mark on the land, and the makeup of the hills can be divided into 3 distinct formations, each representing a different era in the land's history from its transition from land to sea. So the 3 are the San Pedro Formation, the Coyote Hills Formation, and the La Habra Formation. So we're going to start with the oldest of these, which is the San Pedro Formation. So in this formation, you can see many kinds of ancient and extinct sea creatures like ammonites, porpoises, and even the first true dolphin. The museum also houses one of the most complete whale skeleton fossils in the world. Now, over time, the shifting of tectonic plates caused ocean waters to recede, which brings us to the second formation, the Coyote Hills Formation. And during this time, the area that's Coyote Hills today was a sort of prehistoric estuary and a drainage plain for runoff waters. So from here you'll see a lot of shells and stuff, but due to the environment, there weren't many preserved fossils. The final formation is the La Habra Formation, and this is the youngest of the 3. So the environment during the time period in which this one was formed was around the late Pleistocene, and this was a time in which it was a vibrant grassland with a large diversity of terrestrial animals. So we have mammoths, of course, everybody knows mammoths. Mammoths are pretty iconic. They had giant sloths, and I also have, you can see right here, I'm going to walk up right next to it. You can see just how giant the giant sloths are. They're pretty big. They had bison as well as tapirs, which I thought was pretty surprising. And of course, saber-toothed cats and horses. So in the exhibit at the museum in Ralph B. Clark, they had these previously displayed diagrams that show you where the different layers are, and as well as some places where they found some of the fossils. So I decided I would use it to kind of, go ahead and take a look myself, take a look around. So this is from around the center of the park, and this is, we're right on top of artificial fill, right by the lake. And so this is kind of the area where they would have found all of those fossils from the La Habra Formation. This is kind of that. But this is artificial fill, so that wasn't really super interesting. But they had a couple of hills off to the side that were set aside as habitat restoration areas. So this would have been a part of the La Habra Formation.
Right.
So across the street, there was a marked place on the map where they had unearthed the tapir, and this would have been right here. Mm-hmm. So here on the beautiful cliff face, the upper portion would have been part of the La Habra Formation, but everything down below it is made from Marian sandstone, and that would have been where they found these shells. Thank you for your time, and that's the end of my rough draft.